Joseph, MrGodsent, Polk, man. I can tell you many things, million things. I can talk your ear off, and sew it back on because I'm that surgical, you know what I mean? Um, I'm doing so much. I just wrote a book, I wrote an adult book for the adults, or those that think they're adults. I wrote another book, like a lifetime book. Um, I don't want to get the titles out right now. I'm also working on a short film called Surgical. It's awesome. It's awesome. This is something you will greatly support as well. I also do music. I just did a video called The New King, Mind Blown. I did one also called Ride With Me. We just did another one called Elevate. I just dropped those 3 earlier this year, and I'm dropping one probably next week, I believe, called Like This, with a few cats that's doing their thing. Man, I stay busy, still modeling. I got a couple more plays and movies to get off into, a couple scripts some people have been sending me. And again, man, it's you got to work. You got to put in the work, man. And if it's something that you really love, like I really love this, so it's not really work to me. You know what I mean? If I can break free from my 9 to 5 and do this and be able to support my family financially, spiritually, soul-wise, I would do this all day, every day. You know what I mean? I love it. I love the comedic part, the comedy part of it, which I'm just a comedy at heart. I'm comedic at heart. Even the serious part, emotional parts, man. I love it. If I could do nothing else but this, I'd do this. But I've been acting. I think I really love and fell in love with acting when I was in elementary. I think like the 4th grade, and I played Martin Luther King. And when I played Martin Luther King, is the energy you get back, And my teacher at the time allowed me to be me, so I was like a comedic Martin Luther King Jr. And the energy I got back from that just made me fall in love with it. But I also did a stand-up comedy in high school. I played Shanae. Oh man, at Saginaw High, man, it blew people away, man. And then it just made me hungry to do it even more. My mother, she was a model as we was growing up, so I seen her interact, wear people clothing lines and stuff like that, and I seen the energy you get back from people as they watch you go up and down the runway. So I wanted to be a model. I started off modeling in Detroit. And then a guy asked me if I was really, looking into being into plays and acting. I was like, yeah, man, I always wanted to act. I got into this one play called Sin City in Detroit. Then it was the Bar and Grill or something like that. It was another play in Detroit. I took a break for a minute, going through some personal things in my life, trying to get out of the wrong livelihood, transform into a better fitting. And that's when Martell hit me up like, hey, man, I know you've been doing some acting, but I want you to do some table reads. And for this play I'm finna pop off called Broken Covenant. It's like, all right. So, I came out to the table read, and him and Skip was like, hey, man, you might as well go on to be the star of this, dude. Like, you pick up lines like this, and you know what you're doing. It's like, all right, cool. So from there, working with Taylor One, we did, I think, called something about faith or something like that. Then it was, we did like another project, Single Man or something like that. Martell he works. A lot of people don't know how much he works. Martell works. And I'm always available, man, to work with him because I know how he works. And that's just with anybody, man. If you willing to work and you ready, and I know you're gonna work hard and you know you're gonna work hard, man, I'm gonna work hard with you. It ain't gotta be about money, you know what I mean? It ain't gotta be about, I can pay you this. No, bro, it's a mutual agreement. Like, if I do something for you, do something for me. You know what I mean? Scratch my back, I scratch your back. And that's
how we grow. You grow like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to start. We start and we want to make a platform for ourselves. We want to step out there. So sometimes it takes us to work together to get where we need to be.
Exactly. Yup. That's what it takes, man. Take a favor for a favor. You know what I mean? That was the first part of hustle. You know what I mean? I got some oranges. I got some apples.
Yes, sir.
Let's switch out. I need some apples. You know what I mean? So,
that's how we on the grind.
yup.
Trying to do this,
Apple to my oranges, man.
Man.
And that's all I've been on, man. You know what I mean? And I just, man, listen. I always heard people say, put in the work and it'll pay off. You don't know how real that is until you put in the work and it pay off.
I got a lot of stories to tell, man. I need some actors, man. I need
for real.
To put my story out there real good, man.
Bro, I'm with whatever you need. Scratch my back, I scratch yours, man.
Do it, man.
You know,
people, man,
you know, when I was talking to Rut, I was like, bro, I'm with.
You know what I'm saying? I know it's like it's easy too, but I'd rather tell my story and let somebody else play it.
Bring it to life for you. Yeah. Birth that baby, man. I'm with that. I'm with the grind.
It'll take off. It'd be that one movie.
That is, man, somebody is seeing.
People don't even know it and be like, man.
Dog did his thing. You feel me?
So like how they did the five little guys from New York. What was the movie?
Oh yeah.
That movie blew.
When They See Us or something like that.
Yeah, how they see us or something.
Yeah.
Central Park 5.
When that and it just
blew.
It came out of nowhere.
Yup.
It caught everybody's attention.
See, and that's what I'm doing like right now with the one I got called Surgical. Like I said, I just got the doctor coats back. And it's really like 4 young men. And they all made a pact. They grew up in the hood over here. You know, like it's a lot like where I grew up. Like on this side, it's the number side. But across the main street is the word side. You know what I mean? So the number side don't go across over there. And they don't come across over here too much. You know what I mean? So I grew up on the number side, but at the same time, I had people over here, so I was over there too. But I grew up, 4 young men made a pact. We ain't gonna sell drugs, we ain't gonna gang bang, we gonna become doctors. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's like, okay, cool, let's see where we go. But one of the friends, you know, he kind of scared. He always run off if some conflict jump off, you know, but he a good dude too. And one of the young men get killed off from the neighborhood gang. But they still grow to be doctors. They keep that pact to become a doctor, man. And then they own their own medical facility, you know. But in the midst of one of their friends getting killed, they had to escape the neighborhood. And they get with this guy that runs assassinations for the government. So they join the government, but their medical facility is they covered. So without giving too much, it's like Power mixed with Grey's Anatomy.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. And then the intro is like doctors train to heal and train to kill. You know, so bro, I'm grinding, man. My music, like most of my music I'm putting out now, man, I wrote that like 20 years ago.
Wow.
I wrote that when I was in the joint, man. I went to the joint right before I graduated.
Really?
Yeah.
High school,
yes. I 6 months from me graduating, I had 3 scholarships: basketball, soccer, and swimming. Wow. Yeah, Fair State picked me up for basketball. U of M picked me up for swimming. Yeah. And Anderson University, right outside of Chicago, picked me up for soccer. Wow. And then I think Engler, whatever his name was, he had gave me a full ride for whatever my scholarships wouldn't pay for. So I ain't had to pay for nothing. You know what I mean? But living that life, man, you know, selling, banging. I've been on the street since I was like 10, 11. You know what I mean? My parents had their problems, but they, you know, they were strong. They pulled through. But at the time, you know, you ain't got nobody but you and your homies. So I jumped off the porch, man, like 10, 11. Yes, sir. Hustling, banging, you know. Man, we had our own apartment like 10 on like one of the roughest streets on Burr Street. We had like I had an apartment, me and my 3 cousins.
Saginaw, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, right on Burr Street, man. It was Killer Burke then. But, you know, we grew up right there in the hood, right where everybody was doing dirt at. Me and my cousin, all of us, man, we was probably just 7th, 8th grade. You know what I mean? We all hustling. We all doing our thing, man. And, you know, we banging, doing our, you know, running the streets, doing everything under the sun. Wow. And cats tripping. You know, I'm getting a couple dollars, couple chicks like me. You know how it is. You know the typical story, man. Cats shooting at, couple cats shot at me, man. You know, you go back and tear them off and, you know, got sent up for 5 to 10. Got sent to prison, 5 to 10, man, you know. Found a little more God while I was gone. got closer to God, like really got closer. That was my first time ever reading the Bible.
Wow.
For real, my first time reading the Bible. I think I read like 3 times.
Wow.
Then I read this Malcolm X, biography of Malcolm X. Then I read this other book called Make Me Wanna Holler. And when that changed my life. The Malcolm X books and Make Me Wanna Holler changed my life. And it made me really get closer to God and put a lot of stuff in perspective, man. And when I came home, it was like, if you ain't doing what I'm doing and on the path I'm on, I can't deal with you. I can't rock with you. I'm focused on this. You know what I mean? So that's what I did, man. I cut cats off, but it was still, they respected it. It was still love because I wasn't no foot soldier, man. If I couldn't be presidential or run something, I don't need to be in it. I'm gonna get, you feel me? You know, hey, Jay said it the best, man. Kings, you know, what do you say? Young kings' heads get chopped off before they can fully develop to a full king. You know, and I felt that. I understood that when he said it, man. But
Wow.
yeah, man, I juvenile jail, prison, hustling, banging. I done it, man. You got to change. You got to know when to change. You got to know when God give you that opportunity to change. And you know, most cats don't speak on it, but I give all glory to God, dude, because man, you wouldn't be here without him. You know what I mean? Like real talk, you will not be here without him, man. You can't get the blessings without him allowing you to get them blessings, man. And that's just the necessity of the blessings of life. Just to breathe, you know, wake up in the sound state of mind, man. Activity of your limbs, hand of mercy, grace of life.
Yes, sir.
Those are the best blessings, man. Man, I can kick it all day on this.
Yes, sir. You already know.
You feel me? Man, because, you know, a lot of my homeboys ain't breathing. A lot of my homeboys ain't free.
Right.
You know, so my circle's so small, man, I bump into myself. Like real talk. I argue with myself about money. You know? Like, man, what?
You looking better today, man.
You feel me? Like you a little taller. You was just 5'5". You a good 6 now. 5'6", player. Coming home and things that was different. First of all, your education and your mental, spiritual education is a lot different. It's a lot sharper because you don't have time for the distractions unless you allow yourself to be distracted while you're still in there. And I didn't allow myself for distraction. I mean, you know, you get the education out of high school, but it's not a real education. You know, as a minority and as a young black man, you don't really be educated. Because you can go to high school and graduate top of your class and you still not ready for college.
Right.
But we talking about the Caucasian kids and the other kids, when they get ready to go to college, they fully prepared. We got like a 9th, 10th grade education and we graduated from the 12th grade. You know, so I had to, when I came home, well, when I was locked up, I re-educated myself. Like when I read Malcolm X's book when I was in jail, you know, he was like the best education is college or in prison. I was doing college courses. Man, you know, when I was taking college courses from junior high school from 7th grade to 12th grade. And that was on the weekend upper bound program. So I was going to school 6 days a week, plus I was balling and all the other stuff. But when I got to prison, I realized how educated I was. I'm like, man, I don't even know this word. And I supposed to, you know what I mean? So when Malcolm said that, I read his book. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me grind. Let me get on my education. So I would read the Bible. Then I would read the dictionary. And I would write down words that I didn't know, and I use them all week. I use that one word all week so I can get familiar with it. Then I would spell it in my mind when I say it. And so when you come home, man, you realize how much you don't need that livelihood.
Right.
Like really, because I was saying, like, I ain't got to hustle. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, I was only hustling because my mans and them needed to stay afloat. Like I knew I can go get a job. I knew I can work. I'm an all-A student. You know what I mean? And I knew I had these opportunities, but for my mans and them sake and for my circle's sake, we gonna get this. You feel me? By any means, we gonna get it. So to come home and realize that you don't need it, to come home and realize while you're away, hey man, there's too many of us dying, man. We need to do something different. There's too many of us getting locked up. We got to do something different.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? It's too many of us leaving our families out here to be vulnerable to whatever was going on. My son was only 2.5 weeks old when I got locked up. So I was really sick. I'm like, oh man, this ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't salt on my dad because my dad wasn't there when I was coming up. Right. And I don't never fault my parents for not being there the way I wanted them to be. Because you gotta look at the demons that your parents gotta fight off. Why they, you know what I mean? Why they're adults. You gotta take in consideration, like, hey, you know, maybe it was a good thing that my dad wasn't there how I wanted to be there because he was living his life. You know, or my mom wasn't there like I want her to be there because she had to fight, you know, she had to live her life and fight off what was going on her at the same time, man. So the difference, man, when I came home is I realized that I didn't need that. I didn't need that surrounding. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Majority of the time it needed me.
Wow. I seen a post that said, forgive your parents.
Yeah.
You was learning too.
Yep. I read that post I think like right before I came home. That's how old that post is. Wow. I wrote a poem called A Mask. I wrote this poem, man, before I went to the joint, I wrote this poem called A Mask. And it was a lot to do with what I was going through. And like a lot of comedians, a lot of actors, they do a lot of this to hide the pains that they feel or the separation from the loved ones that really can't be there for them like they want them to be. Yeah. So, man, when I wrote this poem called A Mask, man, it was everything that I was going through. So, yeah, man, you gotta forgive your parents because they're your parents. On top of that, you don't know what they going through to raise you. It's just like, you know, if y'all parents, I don't know if you have kids or not, but you know, for me being a parent, I realized the things I had to do to better my family or to, you know, support and supply the needs of my family. Yeah. So you can't, man, and then it's a lot off of you once you forgive them and continue to love them for who they are. Yeah. It's a lot of stress off you, man. It's a lot of pain off you. It's a lot of pressure off you. Wow. And you know, you have to let your kids know if, you know, hey, forgive me for if you feel I hurt you or you feel I'm neglecting you on some of the things that you got. Hey, I got a life too, and I'm gonna do the best for you. Yeah. But I can't do for you and I can't do for myself. Wow. You know what I mean? If I die of starvation, eventually you gonna die of starvation. So I gotta eat to make sure you eat. Right. You know, man. Yeah, that was a great post, man. Forgive your parents.
I think the last thing we need to do is add how people can contact you, your social media handles.
You can reach me Facebook, Joseph MrGodsent Polk, Instagram, MrGodsent. What else I'm on? I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. MrGodsent, you know, that's just, you know, I feel I'm God sent because God sent me. It ain't no other Rut, you know what I mean? It ain't no other Polk. It ain't no other. My man's right here. We the only ones. We got to make the best out of this kingship. You know what I mean? Even if it's being loyal to yourself, man. That's where it starts. You got to know who you are and be loyal to who you are. You know, and I took a break from my music. I took a break from a lot of my acting and entertainment. But, you know, my daughter got killed by her boyfriend 2 years ago. No. Yeah. Yup. Well, the guy was out of Detroit. She's from Saginaw, but they started dating. And India Mackey, India Mackey, she was leaving him and he shot her. But as much as that hurt it flamed me. Yeah, it did, because if it wouldn't and you don't use that, it'll drive you crazy.
Yeah, it'll take you somewhere else.
Man, and
We
you
know
don't,
that.
man.
I didn't want to cut off until you, like, say, I come from the same place you come from. I was like, I've been 12 years in there, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that and we come out here with a drive, it's like, I got a lot. I can talk for days for all the brothers I've been locked up with.
Man.
Came home the same time I was in there with them, and they came home, they take off.
Yup.
Every last one of them.
Yup.
I can call names, like they doing good.
Good.
Like they've been out here and never been in there.
But the book that I read make me want to holler. It's a passage. It's a passage in there that I highlighted, and my man said the most incredible thing, that as far as everything that Malcolm said about the education, educating yourself better in prison or in college, my man said it make me want to holler. He was like, he say, because he got locked up.
Yes.
He says 2 things gonna happen. You gonna get sent away and these cats gonna be doing what they doing. When you come back home, they gonna be doing the same exact thing you did when you left. And when I got locked up, these cats was doing this. When I came home, the same cats on the same corner with the same outfit on doing the same thing. Why would you go back to that? That's, you know what I mean? That's insane. You gonna keep bumping your head on the same, no, man, you know what I mean? Like you said, most cats that come home, man, they take right off.
We have goals. Like we sit back, that's why I think they be so scared of us when we come home.
Yeah.
Because we can sit back, we got a lot of time to think,
Yup.
look back.
Put that plan together.
We
Yeah.
see the world behind bars and see how, and we can see what lane we want to go in.
Yeah.
We see every part of how a society runs and how it looks. So they scared of us when we come out of prison, because our wisdom and our knowledge is like, it'll blow people's mind.
And your drive, man,
And
especially if you.
so much like heat that it won't even let you be still.
There you go. I was just finna say that.
Yes,
I was exactly finna, 100%.
If people get behind the movement of people that come home from prison,
Yeah.
it would change the space of this
It
lane.
will.
Man,
It will. But you know what would change the lane though? The realest thing that to change it, if we can, dog. If you can sit back. If you can, like you took time out when you was in prison, that time you took out prison to focus on what's going on, what if you can do that and don't go to prison?
Don't go to prison, right.
If you can take time off from running your lane,
Yes,
speeding and doing all this, because I said this to myself, I was like, man, I could have did this when but I was too busy hand to hand and turnpiking it, and you know what I mean? You feel me? So if you can sit back before, at least think about at least 1 or 2 people that try to tell you before you got locked up. Try to tell you, hey man, slow down before you. You know, I remember vividly, even though.
Your mom, your dad,
Yup.
some good people that
Yup.
you're like, man, you going down the wrong road. They don't do. We've been down that. We don't never listen.
No, because they old heads. They old heads. Ah man, you old head. You don't know nothing.
Right now, I'm trying to do that in Pontiac. Right now, I'm at the park. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And I need older people like yourself and I. You know what I'm saying? We need to teach the young folks how to really you can mingle and do your thing. You know what
Yeah, you can be cool.
But we want y'all to do it on the safe, if it can be a safe environment
Yep.
for the kids. Get out the parking lot, go in the park like how we used to do it back in the day at the mill dam.
Yeah.
I know everybody went to the mill dam back in the day. And it takes, you know what I'm saying, us as grown men that we've been there, we've done that. You know what I'm saying, to teach our youth not to go back down the road. Like you said, we tired of seeing these deaths and people getting killed. Like last year, I lost my best friend. You know what I'm saying, since I was a kid. And it hurt my soul.
Man, it will.
It took me to, and it's been driving me since then, when he lost his life last year, it's like a fire been lit in me.
Man,
and it's like, I'm trying to do something for myself, but I can't leave my city like this because I know they crying and these babies out here. You know what I'm saying? In order for it to stop this cycle, we got to bring the people to let them know that we love y'all. We love the young people. We show the love and spread it back. We need the city council people to get involved, the police.
You got to get everybody on one accord.
Not just the people that came home from
Right.
prison,
No.
change the land.
Everybody.
We see it. We sat back in prison and got to hear about everybody dying, getting killed, and it's drugs. You know what I'm saying? Where the drugs at? We know where the drugs.
We know where it's coming from. You know what I mean?
We know all the liquor stores at.
Yup.
You know how our community is. You know know what I'm saying? We're trying to uplift our city and change the environment that the people try to put on us.
Right.
You know we don't have nothing good here in our city, nothing.
Because man, the realest thing, man, is they'll take it.
Yes.
Playing politics. They'll take it because they know at this point in time they can see in the fire.
Right.
Politics, because the politics know if we take this, then they'll resort to doing this.
Right.
But if we take this, they'll resort to doing it. So they know what they doing. That's why so much stuff being taken from you, so you don't have nothing to do but to do.
In prison, right?
All the time. Yeah. If we can get away with it.
They know that they here to babysit, so their job is born.
That's it.
So they let us do something, they know it's gonna create a stir. People gonna get to fight.
Yup. It's a riot. Now it's a riot.
Their job is coming interesting.
Yeah.
They got something to do.
And the thing is, like we used to say, like we used to say, we was in the joint. Hey man, you just here for 8 hours, bro.
Yeah.
You know we live here. We live here, bro. Don't go, man. Do your job and go home, bro, because you won't make it home. You know what I mean? So, and that's the same thing. That's the same. And like we policed our unit. We policed our block. And that's the same thing. The same exercises that you do when you're not here. You can orchestrate it when you get back here.
Yes, sir. You can.
You know what I mean? You have to.
You gotta pick your city up, man.
And you have to I tell my sons and my daughters, man, if you want to be something, write it down so that you see it every day, and then go get it. Because if you like a paper in the wind, man, you're gonna go every which way. But if you have something to stay focused on, you're gonna go get it. You know, it's like God gonna do the rest. Oh man, you gotta leave space for him to work his perfection. You gotta because you talking to the universe and he control the universe. And he got you.
I told somebody, I said, God know all the stuff that I have in my head.
Yup.
The best thing he could have gave me was a camera.
Oh man. And that's your passion?
B.Rut, man, I'm telling you, man.
It is.
All the best thing God gave me was put the camera in my hand. I'm telling you, all the story, all the stuff that he wanted me to tell and put out. He's like, here, my brother. He gave me a direction. He's showing me like, this what you want to do? I see the homie, all the stories that you want to tell. He go a camera. I'm gonna show you. He go a team. It's people that it's coming like I told him I didn't have this hand. This camera boy had on about a couple months. 5, 6 months. That's it.
But watch this though.
Taking off.
But watch this. We can talk about I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. God, bring me $1,000. God, bring me you can say, God, I need $2,000, $3,000. Right. Oh, okay, here go a camera. Yes. See, I ain't gonna give you the money. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I ain't gonna give you the fish. I'm gonna show you how to fish.
Yes, I'm gonna show you how to put in some work.
Yeah, that's it. Because as long as you put in your passion in your heart,
already gave it to you.
It's already there.
I'm giving you the tools. Just learn how to use it and put you know what I'm saying? You put people's stories together and put it out there. You got actors now that will act out the scenes and put out the proper movies that our youth need to see.
That we need to see.
That they need to see.
And that's why like
uplifting movies that people need to see. They don't even make movies like that no more. No. For what? You know what I'm saying?
For what?
So,
because they know which way they want to send you.
Yes. They kind of give you a whole different vision on their perception of how they, you know what I'm saying, view you for you can continue to do it. Even though like the gang banging movies, like it's more than us. We do more than
we do.
You know what I'm saying? Go out and go to party and shoot, you know what I'm saying, kill each other in a movie.
And that's why I wanted to make the movies that I make and that I'm writing, I want to make us in a professional setting. Yes. And then we can expose in codes like they do in codes. Yes. We can expose the government. We can expose how they use. We can expose politics. Yes. Like a lot in surgical. I want to make it into a series. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is exposing what we are not and what they really are. Right. You feel me?
I got you.
And I want to but at the same time in surgical, it's shot in real time. So I want to publicize other people's projects. Mm-hmm. Like when it first come on, you will see me at a restaurant that a black person owned. Mm-hmm. And we kicking it, but he really exposing the restaurant. Like, man, this chicken good. Yeah, man, you know I started my restaurant in Blase Speak. All right then, because I'm Dr. Stone in the movie. Mm-hmm. So he'd be like, all right then, Dr. Stone, man, thanks for coming by here eating it. Oh yeah, man, no problem, man. You know I was at the hospital and they had your flyer up, man. You know, have a good day. You know, or somebody selling shirts or, you know, somebody rapping or singing. I have a club setting that majority of the time, like 50% of the time when they come on, you will see somebody in the club singing, and I'm just sitting back lounging. And it's an all-day thing, you know what I mean? Like, if I go to lunch, you'll see me going on lunch on my movie, but I'm going to a lounge where you can see somebody up and coming singing. I don't want no, and this is nothing that, you know, Beyonce or Jay or all them, this ain't no shot at them or nothing, but we know them. You know what I mean? So if you know somebody that you working with on your artist, or even you know what I mean? You doing your thing on the mic, and we in the lounge room, you know what I mean? Me and my medical staff in the lounge room just chilling, having lunch or whatever we doing, and you singing, you rapping, that's you being publicized. And soon we leave there, we going back to our job.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're about, man. We got to push each other.
Yes, sir. Man, thank you for coming through, man.
Man, no problem, man. I appreciate y'all having me.